In this video, we're going to be identifying a composite function. So you might have formed compositions in the past of two functions, but in calculus, it's also important to be able to identify two functions that make up a given composite function. Basically, like decomposing a composite function. So we want to look for an inner and an outer function. So to kind of go through this, we're going to do an example. So here we're going to write the function h of x, which is 1 over x minus 2 quantity squared, as the composition of two functions. Now, one way to write h as a composition of two functions is to take the inner function to be g of x equals x minus 2. Because here we can see that it's already inside of those parentheses, which would make it really simple. So if our g of x is the x minus 2, then that would make our outer function, or our f of x, 1 over x squared. And so we would be able to kind of decompose this and be able to say that we had, let's write it like this. We have h of x equals 1 over our x minus 2 quantity squared, right? What we're looking at here is our 1 over, and then this would be the x minus 2, right? So what we're seeing is that this is our f of g of x, or our f of g of x, because it's sometimes written that way as well. Generally, when we're trying to identify a composite function, we're looking for the simplest way to do so. So even though that there are many answers for what f of x could have been and for what g of x could have been, we want to make sure that we are trying to find the simplest answer possible. Let's look at one more example just to make sure that we understand the process. So let's say that we have an h of x equals the cubed root of 8 minus x over 5. And we want to find our inner function, and we want to find our outer function. What looks like it might make a good inner function? Did you say 8 minus x? Because if you did, you're right. 8 minus x makes a great inner function, which would make our outer function the cubed root of x over 5. And so we would see that as h of x equals the cubed root of 8 minus x over 5, or our f of g of x. So hopefully, seeing another example makes that a little bit easier to understand.